Hi, my name is Cory Huff. I want to thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about adopting a dog from a shelter versus buying a dog from a breeder. So at this point, I'm assuming you've already decided that you want to add a dog to your family, and congratulations to you. Dogs are a great addition. I personally have three myself, and I wouldn't want to be without them. Now, we're not specifically going to be looking at breed today. That's pretty broad of a subject, and I'm going to have to leave that research up to you. What we're going to be talking about is the source of where you're going to get your dog, as it can have not only an impact on your family with your new dog, but a kind of an impact on the dog economy, if you want to call it that. Now, the benefit, first of all, of getting a dog from a breeder is you are getting a dog from the puppy stage. You're getting it at the beginning of its life. You're going to see it as small as it's going to be, and you're going to get to watch it get to be as big as it's going to be. You have a lot of time to see it form and help it develop, and training's probably going to be a little bit easier for you. It can depend on the breed, though. Another benefit is you're going to get to meet the parents of the dog. While this isn't necessarily indicative of what your dog is going to look like, it gives you an idea. It'll also kind of give you an idea of what your behaviors you can expect. They're not going to be set in stone. They don't spend a whole lot of time with the parents, but again, it kind of gives you an idea of what kind of hurdles you may have to overcome. Another benefit of getting a dog from a private breeder is sometimes you'll be able to find a dog that's hypoallergenic. This is very important for people that are allergic to dog dander. And again, we'll take a little bit of research to find the right kind, but this is going to be the best avenue for you to go if you're looking for a dog that's not going to make you miserable every single day of the week. The side effect of this, of course, is that these dogs tend to be more expensive. As much as these people probably genuinely care for the dogs and are doing this to be good people, they're also trying to make money out of it, and no one can slight them for it. These dogs are going to be more expensive. It's something you're just going to have to come to terms to if this is what you want. It's not necessarily getting what you pay for, it's just what it is. Now, the dark side of this coin is that this kind of leads into puppy mills. Puppy mills are factories for dog breeding. There's no other way to look at it. The conditions are miserable. Dogs are very rarely taken care of. They have very little human interaction. They're not fed, they're not watered, they get no veterinary care. There's very little socialization. These dogs that come out are completely damaged, and these are often the dogs that end up at pet stores, which is why I would highly encourage you avoid buying a dog from a pet store at all cost. If you have to buy a dog, do not go to a pet store. My personal preference is buying a dog from an adoption center. Dogs go to adoption centers for a variety of reasons, a lot of them financially, especially recently with the economy. But there can be other circumstances. People would have to move into an apartment that doesn't take their dogs, or someone's getting too old to take care of a dog. The biggest benefit I can tell you of buying a dog from an adoption center like a Pet Refuge or the Humane Society is you're quite often saving that dog from euthanasia. It's just too expensive to house the number of dogs that come into these places day after day, and the only way to deal with that is to put them down. So every time you adopt a dog or a friend adopts a dog from a humane society, you are saving a life. The biggest benefit is skipping the puppy phases. As cute as puppies can be, they destroy a lot of things. They cause a lot of havoc, and you kind of get to bypass that. So you don't have those shredded toilet paper and the eaten shoes and the puddles of pee or poop in the kitchen to worry about. Another benefit is that these dogs are receiving veterinary care while they're in the shelter. So quite often, your dogs are going to have their vaccinations, they're going to have their heartworm. Sometimes they'll even be spayed or neutered, or you'll get a discount going through a vet to have them spayed or neutered. So when you're getting the dog, the initial cost is usually covered with your adoption cost. Now, the biggest argument I can dispel right now is the cost of the dog does not equal the quality of the dog. Just because you paid $50 for a dog at a shelter does not mean it's going to be less quality of a dog that you paid $1,000 from a breeder. Cost does not equal quality. Dogs are dogs. Another benefit, and this is kind of something that you can look at in terms of if you're kind of shaky on your commitment, if you don't think you can handle the full life of a dog, is you can adopt a senior pet. Dogs that are between 8 and 9 years old don't have as many years on them as obviously another dog would, can kind of give you an idea of how you'll be able to handle a dog in your situation and see if it's something that's really for you in a long-term situation. Now, another benefit is with refuges and adoption centers. These dogs are being cared for by volunteers. They want nothing more than to see these dogs happy and healthy, and that's the kind of dog that you're going to get out of them. So you know right from the start that the dogs are cared for. Now, this is actually my dog, Brody. He is an Australian Shepherd Border Collie mix. He's about 5 years old. And to look at him, or even within the other dogs in our family, you would never know that this dog came from a shelter. He's incredibly well behaved, incredibly well mannered, and really has been a great addition to our family. Now, the other two dogs that we have did not come from a shelter, but again, to look at it, you would never know. So the point is this: you don't know by looking at a dog on face value if you got it from an adoption center or if you got it from a breeder. That decision is internally entirely up to you and needs to be a personal one based on, obviously, your personal beliefs. I can tell you in the future, we will be getting dogs from shelters on almost every circumstance because we know these dogs come out very happy. All they're looking for is a loving home. And they just want to be a part of a family. They just want your attention and they want your affection. We also know that every time we buy one of these dogs to give them a home, we're saving their life effectively. Now, again, I want to reiterate, there are circumstances where buying a dog from a breeder, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Excuse me, it's clear that they're doing this to help the dogs, and they do it because they love the dogs, and yeah, they're making a little bit of money on the side. But in the end, buying a dog from an adoption center is not only fulfilling for you and not only fulfilling for the dog, it kind of helps put a stamp on closing out puppy mills and making sure that dogs are bred only for love and that they're only given the best homes possible. So I want to thank you today for listening to what I have to say. I hope you have a good day.